Straight out the boot room to Wembley, our second home. We come to conquer, no, we never walk alone. We dominate, the cream of the crop, drawing all our strength from the roar of the cock. It's all for one and one for all. Pass a move, we're talking total football. Here we go again, Roy's red machine. Liverpool, the greatest team the world has ever seen. Pass a move, it's the Liverpool crew. Pass a move, it's the Liverpool crew. Pass a move, 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 it's the Liverpool crew.
Hello and welcome back to the Liverpool Groove. 3 games, 3 wins, 3 goals yesterday. It's weird, isn't it? I mean, we've played United twice in pre-season now. Just feels weird. Oh, wait, shit. Yesterday wasn't pre-season, was it? Felt like that. Felt like a training game, didn't it? Let's be honest. Yeah, I mean, what we've said already this season, to be honest, can be echoed again. But, you know, it was talked about being our biggest test of the season and against better opposition. And I disagree. Ipswich was a harder game. Brentford was a harder game.
Yeah, it's bizarre because on paper and obviously the magnitude of the game, you'd expect them to be a lot better. I thought 5 minutes in, I was a bit panicky. I thought they looked half decent. And then we just got to grips with the game. And I think we sort of done what we done to Brentford and what we done the second half against Ipswich. We just dominated. We just didn't let them have possession, didn't let them do anything, didn't respect them. We tried to nick every ball off them. We thought every loose ball was our ball, every 50-50 was our ball, and we battled for it, and we just made a fucking mockery of them, to be honest. It was brilliant. But yeah, I still haven't come down from cloud 9, to be honest, like, because I was nervous about it, and
yeah,
you've just echoed the word there. Like, it was, like, so far the biggest game of the season, the biggest test of the 3. It was going to be like the pinnacle of where we're actually at. It was going to be like either a fall from grace and all our expectations are a bit daft, or it's going to boost us to really believe in this team. And that's all it's done. It's boosted us further to think, fucking hell, this is a team, this is a manager who's tactically unbelievable, who sets up in a way that when we tick, we're unplayable and no one can get near us. And in times yesterday, I haven't seen footy like it for fucking ages, lad. It was unbelievable. Was it?
Yeah.
It was fucking unbelievable, lad. It was in all of it.
You've echoed the sentiments there, and you know, like I said, it was talked about as our biggest test of the season and all that, and we get a proper idea of where we are at the minute. And to be honest, I'm a little bit like, because of how easy the game turned out for us, I'm a little bit. I still don't really know where we're at, if you know what I mean, because of it, because it was so easy, because it didn't feel like the game that it should have been. Like, it should have been a tough game, like you say, on paper, but it just wasn't. Their midfield was non-existent. As you said, they had a good 5 minutes, they had a good opening 5 minutes, had a lot of the ball. We were very comfortable and willing to let them have the ball, which I thought was, you know, very telling. I think we've gone into the game and not really shown them any respect, to be honest with you. And it showed the way we've got them 3 goals. I mean, we'll come on to them individually in a minute and the players, but the way we've got the 3 goals is indicative of Arne Slot's style, and that's exactly how he wants us to play, on the front foot. But we're not bothered if we haven't got, we're not like worried if we haven't got the ball either, you know what I mean? And that, I think that's the one significant difference I've found with Slot to Klopp is we do seem a lot calmer without the ball.
We're not possession obsessed, are we? If we haven't got the ball, and we don't actually like feel the need to kill ourselves to press either. We do it, but we don't. It doesn't look like we put as much hard work in and cover the same amount of distance as Klopp. Like I said on the last one, the gaps in between are a lot shorter from the ball to our defence. It seems a lot easier for us to win the ball back. The setup in everything they do, you know, counter attacks when they're on the front foot and they're coming at us, you can actually see a shape and a system, and the back 4 are together. The defence are in a 3 in front of the back 4 in spells as well. And just as I say, lad, I was in awe of it. When we were defending, it was brilliant. But when we were going forward, like a fucking steam train at times, and you just, again, I think I've just had the stats up before. I think we had 3 shots on target, lad, and they all went in.
Yeah.
We were saying about how clinical that front 3 can be if they're released and if they they get in them spaces, and so far so good, mate. They've been unbelievable. They really have. But yeah, watching us tactically, watching us actually allow them to have the ball and then pressing hard at the right moments, not not for 90 minutes, just pressing everything pointlessly. Literally just wait and then bang, go. And it happened a number of times, lad, where we sort of sprinted when they didn't expect us to, and that's where the goals come from. They thought they're going to sit off here, and we didn't. And it was just it was an absolute masterclass.
Yeah, and it's a strange one because, you know, up until the first goal, I was watching the game thinking that in the final third we were actually not poor, but I thought some of we were lacking that final ball a bit for a good portion of the game until we got that first goal, and then it just all went our way then. But one man we've got to talk about first and foremost, man of the match for me, Ryan Gravenberch, again, sensational. And what I loved about him was the disallowed goal. Van Dijk's pass into him, the way he's opened his body up, took the ball away from Manu, and just ran forward with it. Like, it was unbelievable. He's like, whatever Slot's done, he's unlocked the best in a number of players. He's done it with Gravenberch. I think we're seeing the best version of Diaz we've seen since we signed him. I think we're starting to see glimpses of that best version of Szoboszlai again. He's working wonders in a very short amount of time.
And we're seeing Mo Salah like we've just signed him. It's fucking outrageous. The smile on his face, the work he's putting in. Say the front three are all chasing back the defend as well. But yeah, Ryan Gravenberch yesterday, mate, fucking hell, he blew my mind. He doesn't want to go backwards. He doesn't want to make an easy ball. He wants to, as you just said, he opens his body up and he's off. As soon as he receives the ball in difficult situations and in difficult parts of the pitch, you know, sometimes just in the centre circle in our half, and he's willing to just turn and go. That's what you need in football. You need to be brave. You need to be confident. You need to know if you do lose the ball, that there's men there behind you to sweep up and help you and not leave you in the shit. And that's why we're playing the way we are, because whatever the system is, they're all confident that if we don't have the ball, we're safe, and if we have got the ball, we're fucking ruthless. And I thought he was absolutely brilliant. He was man of the match. He took the piss. You know, they're talking about Manu in the midfield and that. I've seen so many videos of like comparisons of what Gravenberch has done to Manu, and I've cried all last night laughing. Fucking
no, he was
one of them on a DJ set, lad, with his
yeah. See, he's
out of this world, and this is why, you know, you've got your fans who are moaning about a 6, and then you've got the likes of us who've said, no, let's see how it goes. We're in the 2, and it's a masterclass again. It's fucking brilliant from Arne Slot to have the faith in him to put him in there. You know, I've seen someone comment saying, you know, if Linders and Klopp were still here, it'd be Jones starting still, and that's why Gravenberch hasn't. Obviously, we don't know all this and who makes them decisions, but he's been held back a little bit in some capacity, Gravenberch, and he's thriving now. Yeah. And long may it continue, lad, because he's an absolute beast.
Well, the thing is, I was saying yesterday, you look at the type of player Gravenberch is, and that type of midfielder in the 6, if you like, you know, didn't suit a Jurgen Klopp team. Jurgen Klopp wanted that destroyer who'd go in, fucking gung-go, to win every single ball and would clatter an opponent and half injured himself if he had to. That's why Endo worked well enough in the system last season, because that's the type of midfielder Klopp wanted in there. But it's different with Slot. He doesn't want that type of midfielder. So like you were saying, you know, that destroyer type, that's why Endo isn't getting a look in at the minute. I've got no doubt there'll be games where you need an Endo, but right now we need that Gravenberch type of midfielder that you know, he's more technical, he's more sort of willing to bring the ball forward and carry the ball. I think you said it once or twice, he's come like a bit of a Wijnaldum at the minute, but I think he's more technical than Wijnaldum. I think he's a better carrier of the ball than Wijnaldum. I think he's a sort of Wijnaldum 2.0. The way he's playing at the minute, I don't want to go massively overboard on him because it is still early days and it's still only 3 games in. But the 3 performances we've seen from him so far, you know, he's one of the best players in the league at this current moment in time.
He is. There's no doubt about it. You can only judge the situations and the players on the games they've played in this season. And he's had three games where he's been brilliant. He's been part of everything we've done. And he gets us on the front foot. He's the first man to get that ball and get us going. And when he does, we get going. And again, like, the understanding between the forwards and the midfield, again, is just ridiculous for so early on in the season. You know, this is a transitional period for us. We look like we've been together for years. I know we have. I know, like, some of the players have been there for years, but with the tweaks in the management and the coaching staff and the input that they'll be having, and the tweaks to the team and the starting level and the system and all that, you would. So we've said, you know, if we can sneak in the top four and go on a cup run, happy days. Let's just not put too much pressure on them, but they're already exceeding expectations.
Yeah.
Seen Paul Scholes yesterday saying these are going to challenge Man City, and at this moment in time, you can't argue with it.
No,
you really can't, because I was in awe of them. I was just watching them and thought, these are a machine. When you go forward, these are a machine. But when we're on the counter attack and we've got to work to get back, they fucking work, they graft. Yeah. There's no more of this trotting around the pitch. And again, I don't know whether they did just burn out. I don't know whether the Jurgen Klopp news did affect them mentally and they just burned out and they just packed in a little bit near the end. But there's no sign of that whatsoever. They all look fit as fuck. They all look happy. They all look like they've been together for years and years. And it looks like a really scary Liverpool team again. And I can't enjoy it enough.
No, you can't, can you? And I think one thing that isn't being spoken enough about, I think, is the defensive work. Because, you know, I seen someone on Twitter say, is it just luck that Liverpool haven't conceded yet? And no, it's not. And that's proven by our expected goals against. Like, it's the lowest in the league so far. We're not allowing teams to create chances against us. Last season, teams were creating chances against us so easily. And, you know, that's why we went on a run of like 12, 13 games, whatever it was, without a clean sheet, because it was so easy to open us up and get a chance. And majority of the time, we come back and win. And, you know, it made for a dramatic game in that sense. But, you know, if it means the control we've got at the minute in these games is something we haven't seen for a few years.
Yeah, so you'd expect to get chances on your goal and the keeper has to make a save or two here and there. But that's why you have the best goalkeeper in the world and the best defenders, because you're expected to fucking concede chances in the Premier League, aren't you? But even yesterday, lad, they had two probably clear-cut chances that they probably should have scored. Van Dijk lacked a little bit of awareness and speed for the one where Xerxes slid in, and then the header. The header should be going in. If it's a good player, it goes in. But Alisson does his job. But that was the type of game it was. We didn't panic too much where we killed ourselves to try and win the ball back. We let them do little bits here and there, but then we took the ball off them and went down the other end and scored. And you know, I think it was the same. It was a bit similar to pre-season, where I think it was a 3-0 pre-season as well.
Yeah, I think
and so. They created a few chances in that as well, but we've just got the confidence to not concede at the minute. They just look good defensively. As I say, there was a few things there where Arne Slot will be showing them a video going, that there, if you move an inch quicker, that shot doesn't get put on goal. You know what I mean? If you jump there for the header, he doesn't get that. So there's still little tweaks to be made, but 3 games in, 3 clean sheets, we haven't really looked like conceding. There's been no big real panic. And when we are being attacked, we've got players left, right and centre ready to battle. So I think that's more what's impressing me most, the difference in the defensive unit and seeing the shape. And like Van Dijk's got us all back again. You see them laughing at him and being standing over Fernandes, and you know that's what you want from him. And I don't know what. I feel like a fickle cunt because of how upset I was over Jurgen Klopp going, but the change might have just come at the right time where the players needed a bit of a change and a bit of a freshen up and the slight tweak in the system to make it feel new again and exciting for them. As I said to you at the beginning of the season, you've got to wipe the slate clean now. As far as we're concerned, there's a new squad, new bunch of players. The past is the past. We've enjoyed it. And it's probably the same for them now. They probably see this as a new adventure, like they've just signed. and it's a new challenge and see what comes of it. But say the fucking foundation's being left there by Jurgen Klopp to go on and do unbelievable things, and the signs are there. Arne Slot looks like the man who could do it.
Yeah, and obviously there's the differences with how he manages the squad very clearly as well. You know, Trent's come off early every game so far. He seems that he has a set substitutions unless something happens at the minute. You know, Bradley's getting game time to protect Trent. The wingers are getting protected. Stuff we didn't really see as much of with Klopp. It's just, it's just very good game management by Slot, and it is early days, and it sounds like we're going all overboard on him at the minute, but he's, as they said on Sky yesterday, he's the first Liverpool manager to win the first game against United since Bob Paisley, and the first Liverpool manager to win the first game at Old Trafford since like 1932 or something like that. So, like, what he's done is unprecedented. It's unheard of, really, when you think about it. So, yeah, we're gonna big it up. We're gonna big the achievement up, because that performance was better than the 7-0. We didn't play as well as that in the 7-0. We scored 7 goals, and it was just, we were clinical. But the actual overall performance in the 7-0 wasn't as good as that yesterday.
Oh, I agree, lads. I think the 7-0 was one of them, weren't it, where everything that we hit went in, and we hit 7. Yesterday we were just clinical, but the footy, it's just the football. Say we didn't kill ourselves to try and get forward. Once it was 2-0, we just took it easy. We didn't overdo it. I think we could have done. I think it could have been 5 or 6. There was a spell when the third went in, because I nearly missed the third because it was at the bar, and then just seen the break, and then Salah put it in the net, and then I didn't see them kick off, and then we had the ball in their box again. I was like, where's the kick off?
Yeah.
Why have we got the ball? And then it happened again, and then we just kept having the ball, and we penned them in for about 5 minutes, and then we started fucking about doing the one-touch passing around them, and it was just it was just a pleasure to watch. But yeah, I say they did create chances, and they did make 1 or 2 attempts on our goal that you would say probably should have been a goal, but that's why you've got the best goalie in the world. And I'm not going to sit here and go to flattering result, because it's absolutely not. It could have been 5 or 6, and I think on the day, the football we played merited more than 3 goals. Glad it never, because he had 3-0. But, no, they were just fantastic, lads. And I think you could go through it. You could list every single player one by one, and you could say something massively positive about each and every single one of them. And the lads who came on as well, because they're just working as a unit. And again, I feel like it's got that cohesion again, where players who aren't starting are coming on, and they're happy to come on off the bench because they know they're part of a bigger picture. It feels like it's got that again. So, seeing Nunes and that come on, and Gakpo, and then laughing their arse off at the end of it, and being happy with the fans and stuff. I think it's just part and parcel of the game, and we seem to be in a really good place at the moment. And it's boss that we're in this position, because it is big boots to fill for Arne Slot. Could have been one of them where the dressing room's head goes down and the fans go down a little bit, but Klopp picked us up at the end, and he's carried on with it. There's a reason why we're singing his name, because at the minute he's every little thing we dreamed of. So
yeah, absolutely. Do you think Chiesa was sat in the stand yesterday watching that, thinking, how the fuck am I getting in this team?
Lad, even the commentator said he looks a little bit starry-eyed at the minute. Like,
yeah.
But that again, that's the beauty of it, lad. I think he's been told he's coming to join one of the best squads in the world, where obviously a great manager, great system, and we'll get you minutes here and there. It's not going to be guaranteed, but that's, from a player's point of view, if you're getting told you're guaranteed minutes in a footy team, then the footy team's not that good.
Yeah.
So if the that's the attitude of all our players, the likes of Endo, the likes of Alisson, who've all said, yeah, they might be trying to sign players in my position, but that's what we need. That's what we want. We need competition, and that's the difference in playing for a top team. Unlike United.
No, you're right. And now I think you get a sense of that this year with them, that no one's place is guaranteed in the squad. Not Alisson's, not Van Dijk's, not Salah's. The ones who would be nailed on who are nailed on starters. Let's make no bones about it. They are nailed on starters, but guaranteed Arne Slot won't be telling them that they're nailed on starters. He will be like, every week every one of your positions is up for grabs. So if you don't impress me in training or do what you need to, do what I say, whatever, you know, you might not start. So make sure you're on the ball all the time, and it's working. It's working. You know, there was no.
Sorry, look, he's not already proved it with Quansah. Quansah was just preferred right centre half. He had a bad half. He hasn't played since, and it's not brutal and nasty. It's you make your mind up on a player straight away, and he thinks Kanate's better. And at this moment in time,
he's been proven right.
He's being fucking colossal. So
he has.
He has. So
he's been the Kanate we know he can be. I think he's one player in particular that, you know, we've said it a number of times. He goes through these spells where he looks like, you know, the best defender in the world, and then he'll have a few games where he looks absolutely just awful. And I think that's, again, that could be burnout. You know, he's one who suffers with little niggles here and there. You know, for a fact he's going to have a couple of games where he's injured or something throughout the season. Maybe it is just down to that. Maybe the workload isn't as heavy in training and things like that for players like that, in order to keep him as fresh as possible and let him play at his peak all the time. Because right now he's unbelievable. Like that, Diola just gives the league now.
Fuck off. What I think with Kanate as well, I think he needs a bit of guidance. So I think the likes of Fabinho not being there and Van Dijk not being at his best the last couple of seasons, I think he has struggled to like get to where he was when he first came in. Don't forget, he's still only about 24, and he's still only a young lad. So I think he needs that bit of guidance, and that's what I was saying about Van Dijk there. He's back to having that aura where he's screaming, he's shouting, he's dictating the play, he's telling players where they need to be, he's keeping the line, and he's vocal. And that's what I said to you. And he got the armband. He's not at a place where he's very vocal. He's not doing it. But this season so far he is. He looks like Van Dijk again. And I think Kanate is reaping the rewards of that as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Couldn't agree more. Obviously, we talked about the goals. They were all, you know, very similar goals. Came from us winning the ball in midfield. Largely down to Gravenberch most of the time throughout the game. But 3 goals. I mean, Casemiro, the Saudi transfer window is still open. So if anyone wants to go and help United out there and get Casemiro out of there, he hasn't got long left I mean, he's finished at the top level, isn't he? Let's be honest.
Do you know what, lad?
Not seen many worse performances than his yesterday, and I'm made up.
Was that not on the manager though? Like you've got Carragher there saying he shouldn't be playing, but he's not picking himself. You know, he's a squad player now. Don't get me wrong. If they're winning 2-0 against the fucking Man City in the cup, you bring him on, and he can keep it 2-0. Do you know what I mean? But fuck me, lad. Yesterday was a calamity. It was hilarious. Don't know what he was doing, but I said before the game, I don't know if I said it on our pod, my concern yesterday was that we were going to sort of do what Southampton done against Brentford and try and be a bit too clever around our own back, and they've got the players to press and work us into a mistake, but it was the complete opposite. We done it to them. So I don't know where they were trying to be too clever. It happened 2-3 times where we just kept winning the ball back and hitting them, but Casemiro, the first one, he's got 2 passes on and he hits in through the middle.
Yeah, it's the only one that isn't on for him. It's madness. The decision making in that moment is shocking. He's obviously seen, I don't know who it was, sort of running towards him, but he's obviously seen someone run towards him and try to hit it. And Gravenberch read it spectacularly, and that's been the end of it. But
sorry, that's the beauty of it as well, though. They're not just Casemiro errors. Gravenberch read that play to receive the ball, to go and take it on, and then do what he does, goes through the middle. But for the second one as well, he's had the ball in possession, and Diaz has busted the fucking gut to go and take it off him, and he's took it off him fairly. So, you know, there are mistakes, and it is a fucking embarrassing performance for him. But we've got to get some credit there as well, because we
100%
get the ball.
100%. It's funny. I was watching. You're watching it, and they've just sold McTominay to Napoli, haven't they? And I was thinking to myself that them goals don't happen the way they do, and they don't make as many mistakes in that midfield if McTominay starts instead of Casemiro.
Even like how I think the first, I was like, no, the 3 goals are literally, there's no one there, is there, to help them. Where Scott McTominay is there at least trying.
Yeah.
They just packed up tools. I think it was mad. Like the first goal, go through the first goal, and you've got Gravenberch,
I mean,
all that. It goes through to someone, then to Salah. And then
well, no, that's it. It's just Gravenberch picks it up,
to Salah,
wins the ball, out to Salah, little lofted ball over.
Before Salah even got it, you know exactly. There's 2 men back post. You know exactly where it's going. All he's got to do is loft it over, and it's a brilliant ball. And you can see where Diaz has absolutely screamed for it because Szoboszlai's ducked.
Well, that's it. In real time, you couldn't tell who scored, and I thought it was Szoboszlai, and then obviously the camera focuses on Diaz, and he's running to the corner, so it's obviously him. But fair play, because it looked like it was Szoboszlai's ball to win.
I had Szoboszlai 3-0 and 3-0, and I was fucking wounded. But no, do you know what? I love that as well, because Szoboszlai, you know, the way he's performed in like last season and that, he could have done with a goal himself. And to listen to the shouting to leave it and not be greedy, I thought it was brilliant, because it could have ended up a fucking disaster and it doesn't go in. But yeah, fantastic bit of play.
It's a hard ball to leave in the air as well, by the way, I must say. Like, he's done fucking brilliantly to actually leave it, because he's already jumped, so he's had to duck in the jump.
He's mid-air and then like tried to crouch down. Class.
Fair play.
It's a great header by Diaz as well. By the way.
It is a brilliant header.
First of all, the first goal.
That was the first goal.
No, the actual first goal.
Oh, sorry, the disallowed one.
Yeah, I still don't know the rules.
I mean, that looked clear
cut to me
and all.
He's 100% offside, but in my opinion, the ball goes backwards. So if the ball goes backwards, you're not offside.
No, the direction of the ball doesn't matter.
It does.
It doesn't. It doesn't. I've taught this in the past.
If you're 1-on-1 with the keeper and you've got to pass on with no defenders and you pass the ball backwards, you can score.
Not if the player's in front of the ball though. Just because the ball goes backwards doesn't mean the player's not offside. That's what I'm saying. So the ball might have gone backwards, but Salah, and it didn't anyway, because it hit his front foot. But direction of the ball doesn't matter. It's it's fully based on the player. So it was offside. It was a great move, as I say. Gravenberch does fantastic with it again, and just makes a mockery of their midfield to get us in that position. And yeah, it's just one of those unfortunate ones. Gutted for Trent, robbed of another Gerrard celebration.
He'll get that again, because you'll be determined.
Yeah, but it would have been nice for him, obviously. Local lad, fucking scoring at Old Trafford. Can't be many better feelings, and he's been robbed of it. But don't think he'll care too much right now. But yeah, second goal, like you said, it was just similar. Like you said, Diaz just winning the ball in the midfield. Again, sort of feel like we wouldn't have seen from him last season. I don't think he would have shown that willingness, that desire to win it back as much as he did. And yeah, just nicked it away. Casemiro's fell over somehow.
I thought that was going to get pulled back for a foul, to be honest, but it weren't.
No, but again, right in front of him as well, wasn't it, the ref, you know?
Anyone's busted gut for that last season. Again, all our pressing was a little bit off. We pressed long distances, but when we had a real chance to win it, we sort of pulled out. It was a bit mad. But yeah, fantastic from Diaz. And then
great finish from him as well, to be fair. I mean, the pass from Salah, he loves that little outside of the foot pass. Like, he's so ridiculously good at it. Like, it's underrated how good that pass is for him. But the finish from Diaz was phenomenal, because I didn't think he caught it well enough at first, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
but the way he did. And the way it's not, what Onana's doing, I'll never know, because like, it's on the side of the goal that he's at. It should have never gone in on his side of the goal, like, to be honest with you. But again, he's another one. He just was, you know, like you said, we scored only 3 shots on target, so he hasn't made a fucking save in the entire game. Madness.
Although
but yeah,
I thought he did. I thought he made one off Salah after he'd done that possession play. One touch, and then Salah gets through and shoots, takes a deflection, and then I thought he tipped it wide, but
he
obviously mustn't have done.
No, that was phenomenal, and you know, brings it back to me saying it was like a training game, because that's literally a rondo we've just done in fucking Old Trafford.
We've been watching videos, haven't we? Of the one
and just ridiculous and a piss taking. You know, they should. If I was a United player, I'd be ashamed right now. In all honesty, like the way they just done that to them, unbelievable. But no, and then third goal was again much the same. Mainu not strong enough. McAllister, little shoulder barge, he goes flying, and then we're in, and that was it really, and just easy again. And Arne gives up half the goal for Salah. He couldn't really miss on that one.
I couldn't believe it when I can't believe it's a first time, first of all, but he's obviously seen where Onana is.
The way he's playing, lad, he's in that form. Yeah, he is. You know, if it wasn't for Haaland being the robot that he is, then there'd be a genuine golden boot race on, but he'll probably get a fucking another attack next week to come.
Crazy, lad, but do you know what? I've seen people saying, like, they got a couple of tough runs now. They got. I'm
not sure. I haven't looked at their fixtures, to be honest.
So I've seen a few people saying they're putting that Pedro Porro, is it? What's his name?
Oh, yeah, for Tottenham.
No, sorry, Brighton. Pedro.
Pedro, yeah.
The Brighton striker, they're putting him in for Haaland because of the fixtures. They've got 3 low teams, and he's in form, and Haaland's got 3 tough teams. So,
all right,
I'll
have to have a look at that. I haven't looked at it yet. There's no point this week, obviously, with internationals being on. But my fancy football team's doing shit anyway, so I'm not asked at the minute. But I've got the best team name in the entire tournament, so I win on that front anyway.
What have you got?
Slot it like it's hot.
Fucking, you should be arrested.
No, it's fantastic. Yeah.
Wow.
So just as I say, the 3 goals were just perfect. Arne Slot goals. They're exactly how he wants us to play, and it's paying off. There was obviously Salah's interview after the game. You know, actually, before we come to that, I wanted to just ask you about a couple of things that annoyed me a little bit in the game, and I don't want it to be too negative because the performance was sensational throughout. But there was just a couple of incidents in the game. Jota, when he had a couple of chances where he was through, and then Szoboszlai about 80 minutes in, and the not shooting. Szoboszlai's had practically an open goal, and he's tried to fucking dribble it around the defender before he slid in. That frustrated me. That annoyed me. And then I feel like there was a similar moment like that with Jota as well. I don't think it was as glaring as that one, but still, it was like, I don't know, there was 1 or 2 times where I thought Jota's decision making wasn't at its best yesterday. But again, that's me nitpicking. Like, but I just wanted your sort of take on certainly the Szoboszlai one anyway.
Well, the Jota ones, the first one I can think of with Jota is where he's like, towards like the 6-yard box and just twats it across goal without looking what he's doing. Nearly goes out for it.
I think that was after the De Ligt tackled Diaz and he played advantage. I think it might have been after that.
He just whacked it across, like not really looking, and then he done it again where it actually did go out for a throw in. Just whacked it across the box. But again, he worked hard, Jota, so I've got no issues. The Szoboszlai one in the heat of the moment, just because you want the 4th goal, was really frustrating. You know, you're a bit pissed off. But when I've watched it back, and where he should actually just put his fucking foot through the ball, as he goes to, the player does slide in front of him. So I think he's second-guessed himself a little bit, trying to be a bit too clever. Where realistically, if he just dinks it over the defender, it's probably going in anyway. But I think he's just seen the body come across him as he's about to hit it, and he's took the extra touch and it just went to shit. But, it did frustrate me because we were just waiting for that to hit the roof of the net, but not to be.
I think the thing for me is you look at it back and the defender's sliding in from his left-hand side, and he's sort of dinked the same way as the defender's going instead of the other way.
Same way as the slide.
Yeah.
Bizarre, but again, I think that's just like it fucking hell.
It's a split-second decision, isn't it?
It's a millisecond, isn't it? So got to make that decision. But in that situation, when you're 3-0 up, your decision should always be swat it as hard as you can. Break the defender or break the goal.
Yeah,
just one of them.
No, as I say, it's nitpicking really. I mean, the performance overall was amazing, and there's no negatives in it. They're just, as I say, I think everyone kind of felt the same way, at least at the time, at the Szoboszlai one. It was just just one of them. So yeah, the Salah comments. Long and short of it, he said, basically, as you know, it's my last year at the club, and he wants to. He doesn't want to think about it. He wants to enjoy it. But he also said that he's, the club haven't come to him with a deal yet, and it's not up to him if it's his last year at the club. Basically, I think he's been very smart about it. I've said it all along. All he's doing is stating the facts. It just sounds horrendous because, but factually speaking, it is right now at this very moment in time his last year at the club because the club haven't come to him with a new deal. But what he's done is he's put the onus on the club now to say, "Come at me with a new deal, hit me with what you've got." There's no way he wants to leave. What Stephen Warner on Sky Sports News today actually was talking about it very well, and he's basically saying, Mo Salah wants to be at Liverpool. He wants to go down as being one of the best 2 or 3 players Liverpool has ever seen. He wants to cement that legacy. He wants to be the greatest player we've ever seen, basically, and he doesn't feel like his job is finished. And as him and Sue Smith both said it, I think it's just a matter of time before the deals get offered to him and to Trent and Van Dijk as well.
You've got to just hope so, lad. I just said that the hierarchy of the club don't fill me with confidence in situations like this when we get to the ages. And as I've said before, we've seen it with Milner, we've seen it with Firmino, we've seen it with the likes of Lallana, we've seen it with, and the only one who never got had off was Henderson. He got a mad contract that he shouldn't have really got, and I think that's why we're overly cautious now with anyone over 30. But you look at him, fucking hell. If he come in now and went, I'm 25, you wouldn't question him. So just judge him on his playing ability and his fitness levels. He's an absolute machine.
That's it. We've said it before. Throw age out the window when it comes to players nowadays. It's not a factor nearly as much as it used to be. They said it on Sky Sports News today. Mo Salah at 32 is like any other player at 27. He's still in his peak. He's been in his peak for 8 years.
But he's a player that he's in that category, the likes of Ronaldo and that. He doesn't fucking go out. He doesn't drink. He doesn't do this. He makes sure he eats the right foods. When he's on holiday, he's still fucking training in the gym every day. He looks after himself, mate. He's committed. He's committed to having the best body, the best physique, the best fitness levels, and the best ability because he wants to be the best. And as I said on the last one, he's still one of the best players in the world by a fucking large, long way. There's not many like him, if any. So Liverpool have just got to stop looking at fucking what could go wrong and look at what can go right and just go, listen, even if the worst case scenario happened and he got to a year older and his legs completely come off, he's merited the contract for 2 or 3 years at least for what he's already done for us. So you've just got to put business aside and just do the right thing. But same nearly happened with Steven Gerrard when he felt worthless because the club weren't offering him a contract after he just won the Champions League and he was swayed to move. I don't think Salah's in that mindset. He looks the happiest he's ever been. He's smiling. He's celebrating like never before. He's enjoying his football. He's enjoying playing his last season at Liverpool. But it's down to the club to just put business aside and go, listen, fuck it. You might be nearly 34. We don't give a fuck. Look at you.
Yeah.
You don't believe him. So,
see, as I've said, I think for me, the one difference that I'm hoping that there is anyway is, in the past it would have been, the likes of, I don't know if John Henry would have been involved in negotiations of any sort, but I think he would have been. He certainly would have been, I imagine, and Tom Werner and things like that, and these people who are football people would have been involved in the negotiations, and so they see it in an analytical way. They see it as metrics, and age is probably one of the biggest metrics they probably look at. Whereas now you've got Michael Edwards working for FSG, not for Liverpool, to oversee all of their football and operations, and obviously Richard Hughes. So for me, I'm hoping the fact that the decision will have to come from Michael Edwards. He won't have to go to FSG to ratify any decisions in that nature. You know what I mean? I feel like it'd be down to Richard Hughes to negotiate, go back to Michael Edwards and say, right, we've offered this deal, they've agreed. fucking, sign, seal, and deliver it, basically. That's what I'm hoping anyway. But I genuinely do think it's just a matter of time before the deals get offered. There's plenty of time until they can start talking to clubs outside of England. And as long as it's done before January, I'm not concerned.
Yeah, as I say, if it was affecting the players and they were panicking about it and they looked fucking pissed off with it all, I'd say just go and get it done as soon as possible. But they're not asked. They're just enjoying the footy. So, sometimes contract negotiations and going back and forth and we want this much, no, we'll offer this much, that can affect a player. So you are just better leaving that. But I think what they need to do is have a little look at an international break or whatever in like a couple of months and book it in then when we're not playing games and go, right, listen, we're going to set up now. Because they're going to go in our ball and go, right, for this reason, if you're going to be 34 and your contract's going to run till you're 37, we're offering you this amount of money. And he'll go, well, I'm on this amount now. So match it, which I don't think they will. So I put a tweet out the other day saying, even if you have to offer him 200 grand a week for 2 years, just do it, get it done. Didn't realise he was on 350 already.
Yeah.
People on the high horses going, he's not going to take that. I was like, what my point is, whatever wage he's on, just fucking offer him whatever it takes. If 200 grand was just a number. It doesn't matter what the actual figure is. Just do what makes him happy to get it over the line, to get him to stay. But it's going to go both ways. The club aren't going to offer him more than he's on now because he is getting older, but his numbers aren't dropping. So that's like
I think yeah, I know what you mean.
A court case with the agents and the owner, and like, well, we're offering you that because of this. They'll go, well, you're reducing his wage because of age, because there's his figures from last season and the season before and the season before. There's not that much difference to make that much of a drop. So, say the negotiations are going to be tough, but I've just said then, Van Dijk looks the best I've seen him for a while. He's got that aura back. He's got that arrogance that you want in your centre half, where I am better than you and you can't go without me. He's got that back. Salah's playing with freedom and happiness. Trent's got a smile on his face again yesterday. He's buzzing off the manx. He's proper up for it. He's enjoying it. He's the one where we've got to offer the most money to because he's still only young.
Well, he's the one you're building your team around for the next decade.
You're offering him a 5 or 6 year contract on mega money and
do a Chelsea deal. Give him a 9-year deal. Fuck it.
They should though. It's clever. But that's like basically getting Alexander Arnold on financing it. Spread over 9 years. Get him on Klarna and happy days. You're not spending as much, but you are because tired in about 5 years. So I just think the hierarchy don't fill me with confidence because of the age thing. But as we've discussed, you've got to try and hope they can put that aside. Hopefully Edwards can work some magic. And the main thing is like Salah's come out and said his kids are Scousers and that. Van Dijk absolutely loves it here. Even Alisson, we were worried his contract was up next year. It's not. It's 2 years' time. And he said himself he wants to stay for a long time. So if we can keep the core of this team together, I think the manager should be knocking at the likes of fucking Hughes' door and saying, yes, come on, get this sorted for us. Because the longer it goes on, the worse it gets for us.
Yeah.
I don't know what my team's going to be next fucking summer. I can't build. So, I think
it's an unnecessary distraction for him as well, though, isn't it? The longer it goes, the issue is, I've just said, going to sound like a bit of a hypocrite now, but I've just said, as long as it's sorted by January, then I'm not worried. But at the same time, it's an unnecessary distraction for them because the questions are going to keep coming up about it. Admittedly, this is why I say Salah was smart about it. He brought it up himself yesterday. And that, as I say, that puts the ball in Liverpool's court now, which I think was very smart of him. And obviously, it's been blown out of proportion and twisted that, you've got pages saying Mo Salah confirms he's leaving Liverpool. Mo Salah didn't confirm anything of the fucking sort. Give your head a wobble.
Made it clear that he's got 1 year left on his contract. And
I'd say he stated the facts, but the facts aren't nice.
But in every other walk of life and every other job, if your contract's running out and you're going to get a renewal, you do it the week of. And I feel like that's where it's going to go because I think Mo Salah said himself, let's get to the end of the season and then see what happens. So he might be happy with that. He might be happy to go right at the end of the season. My contract's running out, probably because it probably won't run out till what, like June, July or something?
So it'll normally be the 30th of June, and then there'll be technically free agents the 1st of July. But the worry we've got, though, as I've said, is in any other walk of life, you're right. Every contract would be sorted in any other job. The week that it's running out, you can't afford it. In this game because, as I said, there's all the talk of Madrid wanting Trent. They can offer him a contract on the 1st of January. So, and the same with the other two, they can get offered contracts from teams outside of England on the 1st of January. So then if we haven't sorted it by then, it really does become hardball then, because Trent can go in to Richard Hughes' office or Michael Edwards' office and go, right, look, Real Madrid offer me a contract there, 300 grand a week for 5 years. What are you going to do? Because Trent is the one Trent's the one who'll turn down a Real Madrid because he loves Liverpool. But if we're not going to match or better the deal that Real Madrid have offered him, then he's just going to go, sound, I'll go. But that's what we can't afford. We can't afford for it to get to January to allow other teams to offer them contracts. If we let it get to January and Saudi teams can come in and offer contracts for Van Dijk and for Salah and go $1.5 million a week, you know what I mean? We can't afford for that to happen.
Honestly, I don't think any single one of them entertains Saudi. I really don't.
I don't think they do at this stage in the career, but I'm just saying.
I don't feel like that type of player, though. I think they think too much of themselves. The players who go over there, like barring the likes of Ronaldo and that, don't think very much of themselves. They're money motivated and that's it. They're quite happy to go and fizzle out over there and just get a big payday. Whereas I think Van Dijk, in his head, if he leaves Liverpool, it'll be to another Premier League side, or he'll end up at like a fucking Munich or someone, and that's just the way it'll go. I think Salah's very much the same. I think every top team in Europe would want Mo Salah, even if it's just for the shirt sales. You've got Mo Salah coming on in a slower league for half an hour at the age of. He wouldn't be coming on, though. He'd be starting for any team he goes to. That's the annoying thing. So that's what we've just got to sit down around the table, throw a few videos, go and have a game of poker, fucking watch Mo Salah's highlights and go, he's in our team now. We want him to be here next year, and just offer him what it takes. That's it.
Yeah, I agree.
Well,
I agree.
That's not business, and unfortunately, our men at the top are really good at business, and I think sometimes business does get in the way of the right thing. So I'm just hoping it doesn't, but we'll see that.
As I say, my hope is now that there's actual football people involved in the big decisions in the club rather than businessmen. I'm hoping it's going to be different, but we'll have to just wait and see. As Salah said, look, they're all happy. Everyone's playing with a smile on their face. We're playing some of the best football we've seen in a few years. Arne Slot has got them playing phenomenally. So let's not dwell on it. Just like I've said, I'm confident it's going to happen. Let's just let it happen. And in 2 months' time, we could be sitting here and Salah signed a 4-year deal, Van Dijk signed a 4-year deal, Trent signed a 75-year deal, and all's happy. You know what I mean? We just got to let it play out.
And another thing, lad, is in the players' favour is they've got to show it plays out in terms of what this new manager's about and the longevity of it, how good we're going to be, and do they want to commit the rest of their last years to us if we are in transition based on what we've seen. It's not going to be that way. We are going to be challenging for maybe not this season, but we are going to be challenging for titles and trophies. And I think they'll want to go down as one of the best teams ever to play for Liverpool. So I just think got to just see how it goes. Got to just see how it goes. And I think at this moment in time, the players will be happy with what they're seeing and they'll be wanting the offer to come. Whereas I think if we were struggling like fuck, they wouldn't be that fussed. They'd be like, it is what it is. But yeah.
And you know what? I think there's an element as well of the likes of Michael Edwards and Richard Hughes. They're probably gone, right, we need to see how it all adapts. Like, because it's a massive change we've gone through in the summer. I think that's being forgotten about a little bit, how big the change actually is. And we've had to see how these players adapt to the new style, how they adapt to the manager, but also how they react to the new manager, because Jurgen Klopp is a massive figure and he commands respect of everyone. You can tell he was very much the man in charge, and not to say that any of the players we've got ego driven or anything like that, but it's hard. It must be hard for them for a manager to come in who's only managed in the Netherlands. No disrespect to that league or anything like that, but he's only managed over there. He's not managed a club the size or the stature of Liverpool. You know, it's easy for them to go, I've been at the top level longer than you. Why should I listen to you? It's easy for that to creep in, I think, with footballers, because largely a lot of them are very much ego driven, but I don't think we've got that in the squad. But I think they've had to wait and see how it plays out, and if Mo Salah can still at them levels, and if Van Dijk can still at them levels. And I don't think you've had to wait for that with Trent, obviously, given his age, but I think we've seen in 3 games already, they're about to hit new levels. Like, we could genuinely, like, I do believe, like, this is the best Salah has looked for a couple of seasons. I think last season we talked about it a lot. Like, you know, it seemed that Salah was playing a sort of slightly different role, not getting involved in the middle as much, and staying very much out wide. And it did seem to sort of to get him down a bit, even though he was still putting the numbers up. But this season, he looks like a different animal.
He looks like they're going to kill me. He looks like a new signing. He looks like a new signing. He looks like a hungry new young player who's come in, and he's just keen as fuck to get on that ball and do what he does. And I think that the new system has allowed him to be free. We are doing that way with drawing defenders out, and they're getting in behind, and you know, he's getting one-on-one with the keeper again. He's putting them away, and that's all he wants. He doesn't look like he's lost any pace. He's lost none of his physicality whatsoever. He looks in tip-top shape. He looks remarkable. He actually does. He looks like, if you said he was 25, 26, you would just agree. He'd go, yeah, he's fucking 30 years, good player. But they just all look dead happy with it. And the system just seems to fit the players that are in the team. You might see a few cracks here and there when, if you do get an injury, say Gravenberch got put out and you had to put Endo in. But again, even Endo, like we call him the enforcer, and the way he's so committed to win the ball back and that, but he's not bad on the ball. Seen him at Stuttgart, was it? You seen him at Stuttgart, fucking bombing forward and that. When we seen the highlights when we signed him, you know, he brought a smile to all our face, going, you know what, he is a really good footballer. So you just got to see what happens when the inevitable does happen and we get a few injuries and that. But early days, we look fucking brilliant. The system suits every player. Even seeing the back four, players are back four, and the fullbacks, players fullbacks. There's no like madness going on. Defenders are right back and attackers are right back. And he's doing it. Sometimes, obviously, when we go to a back three, he does go up a little bit. But his position is he's a right back, end of.
Yeah. It's exciting times. It's exciting times, isn't it? Like, you know, the last time we had the start to the season this good, we went on and fucking pissed it, didn't we? So I just don't want to be one of them fucking miserable fuckers who's like can't really enjoy it just in case, but we can enjoy every single second, every goal, every save. Fucking hell. That's what football's about. You can't sit there just in case it goes wrong. That's what I said to you last season when we were buzzing and we were like, listen, we shouldn't be where we are, so enjoy it. Just enjoy every kick of the ball, every goal that goes in. And if it leads to trophies, it leads to trophies. If we fall a bit short, we go again the season after. We've just got to put no unnecessary expectations on this team. See it for what it is. We've got to get in the top 4. We've got to have a decent Champions League run and put a good show of ourselves out there and show teams we are as good as them, if not better, in the Champions League, and have a cup run. And if we do any better than that, it's an absolute bonus. But early days suggest that we are capable of challenging on all fronts already. And don't want it to be a big bold statement. And Jay says Liverpool are going to win the league, like that Tosser did before. But you can only judge on what you've seen, and so far what we've seen, Everton are going down and we're winning the lot. So it's brilliant. No, it is just what you said. It's been a fantastic start. One, I don't think we were quite prepared for it to be as good as it has been, to be honest. But look, things are going our way at the minute. Arsenal's dropped points already, which is massive. and we're not going to get onto any officiating today because that was just interesting. Let's say that. But now look, them dropping points regardless is massive. Everyone, I think there's probably more people expect them to win the league than City this season, which I think is madness. I don't know how you can I don't know how you can count out the team who've won fucking 4 on the spin. Like,
I think people are just a bit bored of them, lads. So they're just willing something new to happen.
Yeah, I don't know what you mean.
It's fucking boring. Like the leagues, like the Spanish, the German, the French. It's just shit. You're obviously waiting for that Leverkusen to pop up and win a league, and that was us. We were Leverkusen. Yeah. We popped up out of nowhere and won a league title in style, where everyone was like, "Wow, we mightn't see nothing like that again." And then they go back and just do it again. It's fucking boring. But
yeah,
I think Man City are obviously going to be the favourites, but I agree with Paul Scholes. I do think we look very strong, and if we can keep this team fit and we can get contract signed and the security in place, I just think it's going to be it doesn't even feel like it's going to be a roller coaster season. It feels like it's going to be one of them seasons where we're just brilliant. I feel like there's not going to be many downs, and I hope this doesn't go out and then in a couple of months I look like an absolute tosser. But I just do. I've got that feeling again where you think, who's beating us?
Yeah, no, you do, and that's what good football and good results breeds. It breeds confidence, and we've got no reason not to be confident right now. The international break couldn't have come at a worse time for us, really, because you want to keep that momentum going. But look, it is what it is. Champions League is about to start. The schedule for that's now published, so we know sort of what order we're playing our games in and when we're playing them and things like that. Bit mad that the group stage or the league phase goes on until January rather than finishing in December. Just because what you need is more games around that time of the season. Crazy, but look, it's like I say, it's a fantastic start of the season. We've got every reason to be optimistic with Arne Slot and this new system and the players that we've got. Like you start to see game by, you're starting to see already like why they were so comfortable. Like we wanted Zubimendi, that wasn't happening. Okay, not going to panic. Let's just go forward with what we've got. We're happy with what we've got. Let's move forward with that, and you can see why.
I reckon we'll get him in January anyway, I'll be honest.
A lot of people do.
Said that all along. We don't panic. We're just good at the business side of things, and sometimes it looks like we're going to just miss out, like we thought with Van Dijk and fucking hell. You either wait it out and you get your number one target you really, really want, or you panic and you go and get someone for probably more money who's not as good. So,
well, that's it. You were saying that about United yesterday. Sorry, like they said when Ten Hag first come in, the first player he asked for was Frenkie de Jong from Barca to be his holding midfielder, and that didn't happen. So instead of waiting and trying to get him again, they got Casemiro, and he was okay for half a season for them. He was good for half a season maybe at a push. But now you're seeing the level that he's at already. Like he's massively declined. But that's the issue when you
lad in it with him.
You know what I mean? And that's not his fault, obviously.
But said yesterday, didn't he? Fucking leave the football. Don't let the football leave you.
Yeah.
And the footy's left him. And you've got Ferdinand on another podcast saying he's talking shite. He's not. It's fucking inevitable. You can see it. The evidence is there. Shows itself week in, week out. He's a nailed on Buchan or a red card. He's fucking dog shit. He's too slow. Can't win the ball. He can't pass the ball. He's fucked.
Yeah, he is.
He's had an unbelievable career, but there's a time and a place. You call it quits and you move on to a lesser league or you retire. He's at that point. It's on the manager to stop playing him. But go on, carry on.
Hopefully they don't stop playing him. But no, they probably will not. They've got this Ugarte in. But no, I mean, who listens to Rio Ferdinand? He's the biggest fucking melt on the planet. I can't stand him. But now, look, as I say, we've got every reason to be optimistic. It's been a fantastic start of the season. We look like nobody can touch us at the minute, and long may continue. Let's just see what happens. Like you said, the goal this season was probably top 4 in the cup run. But the sky's the limit. Who knows what we can do this season?
And that's it. We said it last year, lad. We were in a transitional passage last season, and we started well. We cracked on. We won a trophy, and we're like, fucking hell, where can we go with this team? We weren't expecting it. Unfortunately, it fizzled out a bit. We had the news of Klopp and it all went to shit. But at the end of the day, this is the start. This is a new dawn. And when you start this well, this early on, with the new setup and the new manager, you can only be excited. And say it can all come crumbling down dead fast, or it can run until we're all fucking outside St. George's over our red flag, lad. So hopefully it's that one. But I do, early days suggest that we're going to be a really good team under this manager. And I said to you on previous podcast that the bit of the difference in his character to Jurgen Klopp, I think it suits us. I think it's looking very much like it is the transition of Shankly to Paisley, and that it's someone who's not really as connected or as interested with his players as mates and as friends and family. Doesn't really interest in interacting with the fans as much. He doesn't want to be your mate. He wants to be the manager. He wants to be like a Rafa Benitez who just gets down to business, and that's suiting us, really suiting us. And I think it's suiting the team in the sense that he's got no favourites. No one, as you said before, no one's place is safe. He hasn't got a favourite. If he thinks he's done something wrong, you come straight out the team and he picks his best 11. And he's got his subs there ready to save the legs of other players. There's a system in place and it's working.
Yeah. Couldn't agree more. Well, look, let's wrap it up there. As I say, no football this weekend for us to look forward to with the internationals. I'm sure we'll be back with a preview for Forest before that. But just before we go, obviously Friday we did finally drop our project that we were working on over the summer. Jurgen Klopp, he made the people happy. The reaction to it so far has been amazing. I'm made up that people are just liking it as much as we did during the process of putting it together. So get over to our YouTube, give it a watch. I've put the first 2 minutes of it on our on the Instagram. So if you want to go and have a look to see what kind of sort of vibe you're getting from it, be my guest, and then I say head over to the YouTube and give it a full watch. But I say reaction to it so far has been unbelievable.
Yeah, everyone who's involved in it, who's seen it first, and the people who have showed it to have all just said it's exactly what we wanted it to be, heartfelt and genuine. And you know, it is a bit of a tearjerker, but it's nice, and it's nice that it's out now while we're doing well, because there'd be nothing worse than us being in a fucking shit state right now and then bringing that out where we want Klopp back.
Yeah, with a lot like that.
Where, you know, we can watch it and then we can go, do you know what? It was a fucking unbelievable time. That on we go.
Yeah, absolutely. So, as I say, get over to the YouTube, give it a watch. But until next time, up Arne Slot's top of the table, Reds.
Up the fucking Baldies.